Go.
Hello, everyone. A very good morning to all of y'all. This is Ishan Shahani from RevSportz, your host today, along with Gagi Roth. We are going to speak to you about all the sports news that is taking place all over the world. And it's Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. So make sure you don't miss it. Gagi, I'm going to give the stage to you. Get started with it, and then I'll take your lead.
Absolutely, Ishan. It is a good morning indeed, not just because, three young boxing talents have gotten a gold in the Junior World Boxing Championship, but also because there's a lot of rain where I am at right now and it feels incredible. But going back to the news, Payal, Nisha, and Akansha, young boxing talents, showcased their outstanding performances to secure victories at the 2023 IBA Junior World Boxing Championships held in Armenia. India concluded the campaign on a high note, amassing a total of 17 medals. Payal claimed India's first gold by defeating the local favorite in the girls' 48 kg final. Asian youth champions Nisha and Akansha followed suit with impressive performances, securing gold medals. Additionally, Winnie from 57 kg category, Shushti 63 kg category, and Megha 80 kg category earned silver medals in their respective categories. In the boys section, Sahil 75 kgs and Hemant 80 plus kgs contributed silver medals to India's overall tally. The 26-member Indian squad dominated the competition throughout, with 12 athletes reaching the finals, the highest among all participating countries. India's three gold medals in the girls category ranked second, tied with Kazakhstan, trailing only Russia's four gold medals.
How amazing is that, Gagi? And I think we both were watching the Hockey Junior World Cup as well yesterday. And what a performance by the Indian team, and especially Arijit Singh Handal, who struck. I think he did I think, strike a hat trick under severe pressure, and that just put a lot of pressure on the Korean team. So just seeing that performance was just so amazing to watch, and that dominant performance is what you need as a young team. And he was also well supported by Amandeep, who scored a I think goal in the 30th minute. So that just shows that there were goals been scored at regular intervals, which really applied a lot of pressure on the Koreans. India plays Spain next in the next pool match, so that will be a big game. It's going
Okay,
to be really
yeah.
exciting to watch how that happens. And yeah,
Absolutely. And going back to cricket a little bit, PCB has granted bowler Haris Rauf permission to make a limited appearance in Australia's Big Bash League, resolving a standoff with the player. Actually, the decision comes after criticism that Haris Rauf got from chief selector Wahab Riaz and a directive from the team director Mohammad Hafiz, emphasizing national team duty over franchise cricket. Harris is allowed to play now a maximum of 5 matches for the Melbourne Stars in the BBL, concluding with their last group match on January 15th. Subsequently, after that, Haris Rauf is expected to join the Pakistan squad for a 5 match T20 international series in New Zealand that is starting from January 12th.
taking a note from cricket, Gagi, I think Bangladesh should be eyeing a victory against the Kiwis. They haven't beaten the Kiwis in a series up till yet, and they played fantastically well in the first game. They won by 150 runs. So this is a huge occasion for them, and they'll be hoping they can cross the line. The only other two test team nations that they've beaten is the West Indies and Zimbabwe. So Bangladesh, being a crazy loving nation like just how India is, I'm sure everyone out there be hoping and rooting for their team to go over the line.
Absolutely. And moving on to the world of tennis, Novak Djokovic, a 24-time Grand Slam champion, concluded the 2023 ATP season by securing the year end number one spot for an unprecedented eighth time. Djokovic clinched victories in three out of the four Grand Slam tournaments: the Australian Open, the French Open, and the US Open, with a men's record 24 Grand Slam titles, including a September triumph at the US Open. He also finished as the runner up at Wimbledon. Djokovic's 400th week at the top of the ATP rankings coincided with his 8th ATP Finals win, surpassing Roger Federer's 310 weeks at number one. At number two, we have Carlos Alcaraz, who finished the year end rankings in the top two for the second consecutive year.
Right. Let's talk about some local football, everyone. Everyone loves local football, and Mohan Bagan Super Giants have won 6 games on the trot. So they'll be riding on that high momentum, and they'll be looking to make it seven against Odisha, a football club. So it's going to be a really, really big game. Uh, Mohan Bagan's at the moment second on the table with 15 points, and Odisha is fourth on the table. So you can see that it's really neck to neck, and both teams will be looking to get a win under the belt. Uh, the one problem with Mohan Bagan is that they've injured a lot of players. So their four players are injured. So that might come and haunt them later on. While Odisha is just getting stronger and stronger. They haven't let anyone, fall back, or nobody's injured. So that's one issue for Mohun Bagan. But I think they're a top side and they'll be looking to continue the good form.
Absolutely, and we'll have to go back to women's cricket now because uh, Amol Muzumdar is starting his stint as the head coach of the Indian women's cricket team under the guidance of the newly appointed head coach Amol Muzumdar, of course, a former domestic stalwart who's known throughout the domestic circuit for his for the way that he's played when he was a player. The Indian women's cricket team is gearing up for a busy home season, commencing with a three-match T20I series against the second-ranked England team. The Indian team led by Muzumdar, is emphasizing fearless cricket now while addressing fitness and fielding concerns. The three-match T20I series kicks off at Mumbai's Wankhede Stadium, marking the very beginning of a fresh start for the Indian women's cricket team. Coach Muzumdar emphasized leaving behind past statistics and focusing on the upcoming season with enthusiasm and determination. But we also have to talk about how, for almost a year, there was no head coach for the Indian women's cricket team.
Yeah.
Uh, Harish Kanetkar and a few other coaches were going in and out as interim coaches, and there was no stability in the Indian women's cricket team as such. But Ishan, I'll have this discussion with you about how the women's cricket team is going now forward, because we've had a lot of losses in the past year. We've
Yes,
had
yes,
a
Ravi.
lot of instability. Also, there is no set, sort of team when we look at it
Hmm,
for now.
hmm,
How do
hmm.
you envision, the impact of Amol Muzumdar now that he's come in, now that we have a solid head coach?
I think he's going to have a great impact because he's obviously very experienced, and having a head coach always helps. The team did fairly well without a head coach, but having someone who they can rely on will always help. And there's always that extra bit of expertise which he provides. So that's very essential. And the Indian women's team have a bunch of youngsters. So all these youngsters are looking for a mentor, and everyone needs a good mentor, Gagi. So at the end of the day, I think Amol Muzumdar is going to have a big, big impact. And I think he's going to do wonders for the team.
Absolutely. And since Amol Muzumdar is from Mumbai, he's a Mumbai
Yes.
local boy, Ishan, you would know. Uh,
Yes.
it may give him a bit of comfort that he's beginning his new job from his hometown. The
Yep.
India versus England series, women's T20I series is starting in Mumbai, and Ishan, our very own Ishan, will be covering this
Yes.
throughout the series. So it may give Amol Muzumdar a bit of comfort that he's beginning his new job in his hometown and in a stadium where he has played since he was a teenager. So, but it still won't be an easy task because India do have a poor record against England in T20 as they have lost 20 out of 27 games against them, and they have won just 7. So it's going to be a very tough task when we look at, just like Amol Muzumdar has talked about it and has talked about how fitness is a concern. And we have Abhijit Deshmukh, our guest, joining us right now. Thank you for joining us, Abhijit. A very good morning to you. We
Thank
were
you,
just
Abhijit.
discussing about how Amol Muzumdar is starting, afresh in the women's cricket team, and there is going to be, a sort of stability going forward from now on, because for almost a year we did not have a head coach. The Indian women's cricket team did not have a head coach. There were a lot of losses. There were a lot of poor statistics, poor records. How do you see this new move?
I think this is a great move. Amul Majumdar has been a seasoned cricketer, had a lot of domestic cricket experience, was one of the highest run scorer in the Ranji. He has captained India under 19 and under 23 as well, has been with IPL franchisee. I think it's a good move, and since we have seen like earlier, WP Raman was there, then Ramesh Kaur was there. So Amul Mujumdar is a good move, and yesterday in the press conference he mentioned that Indian women need to play fearless brand of cricket. I think that's a very solid statement because we have seen in the past several years Indian women's. have done pretty well, but when it comes to a final frontier, that's where they have missed out the train on this two distance. I remember I was there at the Commonwealth Games in 2022 covering the final match. India was leading the match. It was like Harmanpreet Kaur and Jemima Rodriguez will take India easily to home, but unfortunately India couldn't beat Australia in the final, and that's where the character of the team play comes into the picture. I think everyone knows that Indian women's are playing a solid brand of cricket, but what missing is the fearless brand of cricket. And I think that's an important statement made by Amul Majumdar yesterday, and it will be interesting to see how they come all guns blazing against England today at 1:30.
Abhijit, just one question for you. Do you have your eye out for any Indian youngster from the game today that's going to take place? Anybody you think who might steal the spotlight, playing that
Uh,
fearless brand of cricket?
no, I think overall, if you see for both the Test matches and the T20, the core team has been is maintained. So
Yeah.
Smriti is there, Jessica Bhatia, Jemima Rodriguez. I think, but to me, Renu Thakur will be the uh, uh, for the entire series because
Hmm.
T20 is as a format. It's meant to be for batters that was there, but I think the bowler has a important role to play, and in the way she has been performing in recent years, I think she will be the key person in this series.
All right. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you
Go
everyone
on.
for joining. Thank you, Gagi. Thank you, Abhijit. And thank you for all our viewers as well. And please do join in tomorrow because we're the best out there and we're going to cover you with every single sport.